It sucks. Look, it's mushy. It's mushy. It's hard to pull. It's completely garbage. Today I'm going to install this RSC, the Righteous Stunt Clutch, which is neither a clutch or it's not a clutch. I like when people call these RSC clutches because it's not a Righteous Stunt Clutch. It's really a clutch lever and a perch, but we call these RSC clutch levers on perch. What do we call them? Are they just RSCs?
Yeah.
Righteous Stunt Clutch?
That's what they call them.
A lot of people, when you guys go to mess with your clutch lever, you're just going to buy a $20 eBay lever and just replace just this part and call it good. Those are okay if you're just going for looks, but if you really want something that's got performance value to it and will make it an actual difference in how your bike performs and rides, this will do it right here. The biggest difference between this clutch lever and any other clutch lever is this easy pull action it has. One of the main ways it does that, it actually has bearings inside of here. Yeah, they actually put little needle bearings inside this clutch lever. On top of that, there's some geometry and science going on in here to control the clutch lever pull of it a bit. You have two different angles in here. You'll just kind of play with those, see which one works best for you. The guy who came out with these really engineered for stunt riders. It's built out of billet aluminum, which makes it a piss ton stronger. It also comes with a lifetime warranty, which is pretty impressive because he sells these things, like I said, to stunners, and they smash all the time and break things, and he just replaces it even if you wreck. So if you buy one of these, you're pretty much buying a clutch lever for your bike forever. Whether this one wears out or breaks or doesn't, it probably won't, just because it's so well built. They come in a handful of colors. This is the shortest version you can get. They have a normal length and an extended length. I'm going with a really short length because I'm going to put it on my WR and I can kind of move things around. I don't have to have the controls right up next to it. I also think at one point I may throw a hand brake on there, and these are pretty much mandatory if you're going to have a hand brake because you need a really short lever, and because you can only really get one finger on it, you're going to want it to be really easy to pull. I'm telling you, this lever is so easy. If you've ever felt one of these, it's like a Cadillac steering wheel. You kind of do it with your pinky. It's super easy to pull. So even if you're a bonehead, you'll be able to install this. Pretty easy job. One thing I've already done to this, because mine broke a long time ago, pretty much all stock clutch levers have a sensor in here that basically tells when the clutch has been pulled or not pulled. Mine broke, so I just took it off. You'll have to take that off anyway. What you'll want to do is go find wherever it goes to, unplug it, cut it, and then just put the two wires together, tape them. That's all you got to do, and the bike will always think the clutch is pulled in, and that's no longer a problem. Just keep in mind that your bike will do silly things now, like you can, now if I put this thing in the gear and hit the starter, it's trying to take off. So yeah, just keep shit in mind like that, because you're not going to have any of those aids anymore. Not a big deal if you're not a bonehead, but just keep that in mind. First thing we gotta do is we gotta get the cable out. Mine's got this weird notchy thing. You may not have that. If you have one of these, you just sort of yank it back. Most clutch levers will look more like this. They'll have one of these adjusters. Oftentimes this piece right here, if you've never adjusted this, I don't know why, they're so factory tight. What you want to do is get you one of these, loosen it about like so, put a rag in there so you don't break it, and you just want to pop it loose. And it should only ever be hand tight. You should always be able to come up and unscrew this by hand. It's just sort of hand tightened down. This is kind of a jam nut that just keeps the adjuster from moving around. You'll have a slit in here like this, so you want to back this off a little bit, and then you really want to screw this all the way in, and then you want to get to a point where it's as tight in as you can get it, and you get all these to align at once. That's what you're going to do, and then the cable can come right out. So in this case, this is like a weird adjuster in one thing. I really hate this thing. So when you get this thing loosened down all the way, you can pull up on this, and it should pop out like that. You bring this around. The bottom has another notch that it lines up with, and you want to pull it out like that. And for the most part, we can just pull these off. We're not going to reuse this or this in our new setup. We're going to have our own adjuster, so you can throw those away. Most of these levers will just be held on by 2 bolts. These are 8mm on this bike. Yours may vary. If you can't figure this part out, you shouldn't be able to ride a motorbike.
Then Ray can't ride.
Ray
can't ride a motorbike. Go ahead and wheel it in here. You're done.
I'm going to be placing mine right where my kill switch is. This is just how it is on my bike. Yours is probably different. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. I'm just going to leave it loose for right now until I get it where I want it. But I'm just going to kind of loosen it up where I've kind of got the brakes put down so I can scoot it around and make room for things. And this mirror might have to go. That's an AutoZone blind spot mirror everybody always asks. It's nothing special. I'm willing to get rid of it. Take this back end off, and you just bolt it on. Leave it a little loose until you get it adjusted where you want. Right here it's kind of almost 2 finger. I really want this to be 1 finger, so I'm gonna work it down just a hair. All I like to do is just put my hands out straight across, and you can kind of feel where one is and the other one, kind of make them the same. It's pretty good right there. And just tighten it down. It doesn't take 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, just Tighten it down, don't be an idiot. It is aluminum on the other end, so don't go crazy. So we're doing all this work to make this clutch super easy to pull. One thing we don't want to neglect right here, we're at this point, is lubricating this cable line right here. Obviously, if you try to come up and squirt oil down in here, you could maybe kind of get that to work, but it's not going to work great. What you really want to do is get one of these, I guess you guys call them auto cabler line. Does this have an official name? No?
No.
Well, are you trying not to act smart now? Are you trying to act smart a minute
Cable
ago?
lube?
Yeah. Cable luber. You need a cable luber. This little box right here will clamp over that and it'll let us actually squirt fluid directly down in there. So we're going to insert this here. Pretty self-explanatory. You put it in there, kind of push it down until it notches in there pretty good. You kind of feel there's like a, that's a little tight here. There's kind of like a little groove in there. You'll feel that it catches. Tighten this thing up as much as you can, sealing everything, and it's got a little hole right here we're going to be able to squirt fluid into, and it forces it into one place. So when you get something that's meant for this. Don't squirt WD-40 into this. It's going to dry in like 5 seconds. You got to squirt something that's meant for it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to insert this in here. And what I'm going to tell you to do now is go ahead and get you a rag and wrap it over this, because these things always kind of piss out a little bit. And we're going to squirt it until we can see fluid coming out the other end. Keep squirting it until you see it come out the other side.
Yeah, we can see it drooping now.
Alright, cool. Now everything's bolted up, we just got to put the cable in, same way we did before. You want to tuck the adjuster as far in as you can, get the fucking planets to align, or whatever you want to call it, and work this thing in. Got it in there, we just have to adjust it. To adjust it, we need to screw this piece back out to take up the slack. There's too much slack in it right now. Yeah, I'm having to go way out on this, so this is an adjuster right here. I'm going to have to use that. So I'm going to stick this kind of back in the middle-ish spot here. I'm going to have to use the built-in adjuster. Most of these have something like this. Yours might be at another place on the bike, but there should be an adjuster in the line itself. So we'll move this back. Basically, you have a jam nut right here, and we need to unscrew these away from each other. Hold this piece still, and you're going to loosen this nut right here. Once that's loose, we want to screw these two apart from each other. We've got this about where we wanted it, re-jammed it down. What you want to do is you want to get it, see that's too much. You want to get it so it's about, kind of like that. You want about that much play in your clutch. Any more than that would be no good. The reason you want that little bit of play is to take up any slack when you turn the bars. It might pull it in. You don't want to turn the bars and have the clutch be pulled. You could pull it back further and make it a shorter throw, and there's a little adjuster in here to do that, so it brings it in a little bit. But then you'll be getting less pull on it. You may not get enough release. That right there feels pretty good. Alright, just tighten this down. Again, just tighten it by hand. And that's it. We're basically done right there, and wow, that feels pretty easy to pull. So, alright, we'll go out on the road and see how it feels. So we got the new clutch lever installed. Pretty easy operation. You can see it's definitely a one-finger design. We'll pull about that far, it releases. Pretty good. Real easy to pull clutch. Definitely worked pretty good. Oh, the wind is driving me off the road. So the other side of the street is literally another city, so that's why this was okay. I mean, how many people did, I wonder if we ever got